ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور
شهیدا و زخمی مکمل خانه انتقال داده شد
دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور.
Welcome and thank you for watching English News Bulletin on RTA News. Today we mostly focus on the deadly earthquake that struck the northern provinces of Afghanistan. I'm Suleiman Talash. The Ministry of Public Health has announced that following last night's earthquake in Balkh and Samangan provinces, at least 534 people have been injured and more than 20 martyred. According to Dr. Sharafat Zaman, spokesperson for the ministry, medical teams reached the affected areas immediately and the transfer of the injured to hospitals is ongoing. He added the final casualty figures are not yet confirmed as rescue operations continue in some affected areas and the numbers may change. The ministry's information indicates that some of the injured with minor wounds have been taken to private hospitals while others received treatment on site. The spokesperson emphasized that all hospitals near the earthquake-affected areas have been placed on alert and additional medical teams from neighboring provinces will be deployed if needed. On the other hand, Arafat Jamal, the UNHCR representative in Afghanistan, met with Zhao Sheng, the Chinese ambassador in Kabul. The UN Refugee Agency UNHCR said the meeting focused on the situation of Afghan returnees and ways to strengthen joint cooperation in supporting them. Meanwhile, the spokesperson for the Balkh Provincial Public Health Department says that following last night's earthquake, 126 injured people and 5 martyrs from Balkh province and Kholam district of Samangan province have been transferred to Balkh Civil Hospital. Following the deadly earthquake that struck the northern provinces of Afghanistan, the United Nations announced late last night on its X page that its emergency response teams are present in the northern region of Afghanistan to assess the needs and deliver immediate assistance to those affected by the earthquake. The organization also expressed its solidarity and support for the affected communities. The Afghan Red Crescent Society says that following last night's powerful earthquake in the northern of the country, its rescue teams have been deployed to the affected areas. According to the organization, the teams have begun emergency relief operations. The Ministry of National Defense says that rescue teams of the Islamic National Army have arrived in the northern region of the country to assist those affected by the earthquake. According to the ministry, rescue and emergency response teams of the 209th Al-Fatah Army Corps immediately reached the affected areas and have begun rescue operations, transferring the injured and assisting the affected families. Maulavi Matiul Haq Khalis, Director General of the National Environmental Protection Agency, called on UNICEF to consider the real needs of the Afghans in its programs and to present comprehensive plans. During a meeting with UNICEF officials in Afghanistan, Mr. Khalis emphasized that climate change is a humanitarian issue and should be kept away from politics. Meanwhile, UNICEF officials pledged to cooperate with the National Environmental Protection Agency in protecting children from the impacts of climate change, enhancing Afghanistan's presence in international forums, and improving access to global financial resources. The Ministry of Public Works announces that the Samangan Highway closed last night due to the deadly earthquake and landslide has reopened to traffic. Meanwhile, the Electricity Department reports a temporary disconnection of imported electricity lines from Uzbekistan and Tajikistan in Samangan and Kunduz provinces. Here is the rest of the story.
The Ministry of Public Works has announced the reopening of the Samangan Highway, which was closed last night due to an earthquake and a landslide. Mohammad Ashraf Akhtanar said that the road is now open to traffic due to the swift efforts of the Samangan Provincial Department of Public Works.
With the incident at last night, personnel from the Samangan Provincial Directorate of Public Works arrived at the site to reopen the mentioned route. Thanks to the tireless efforts of the staff and machinery of Samangan Public Works Directorate and in cooperation with several agencies, the Samangan-Balkh Highway was reopened to traffic this morning.
At the same time, electricity imported from Uzbekistan and Tajikistan has been cut off because of the earthquake. He added that the Uzbekistan line from Naibabad to Samangan and from Kholm to Burkhumri, as well as the Tajikistan line from Nair Kunduz province, has been temporarily disconnected.
Following the earthquake, Uzbekistan imported electricity was disrupted in two sections, from Naibabad to Samangan and from Kholm to Burkhumri. As a result, power was completely cut off in Kabul as well as in the provinces of Baghlan, Parwan, Panjshir, Kobisa, Logar, Paktia, Ghazni and Maidan Vardak.
Mr. Akhtanar added that the Directorate of Electricity has deployed technical teams to inspect the lines and restore imported electricity to the affected areas.
The Afghanistan Electricity Company has dispatched technical teams and is taking immediate measures to restore both routes.
This is while a deadly earthquake struck parts of Samangan and Balkh provinces at 1 a.m. last night, causing casualties and significant damage to the public utility facilities.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock reports that apple production in Baghlan province has increased by 12% this year compared to last year. According to the ministry, more than 66,480 metric tons of apples have been harvested this year from 1,711 hectares of apple orchards in Baghlan province. Meanwhile, officials attribute the increase in apple yield to greater experience, familiarity with standard horticultural methods, and the use of improved saplings. And the final one reached that the construction of two water supply networks in the Muqar and Gilan districts of Ghazni province, valued at 11.3 million Afghanis, has been completed and handed over for use. The Ministry of Rural Rehabilitation and Development says that with the completion of these networks, 511 families in the mentioned districts have gained access to safe drinking water. That's all for now. Follow us to stay tuned about the latest news updates from the country and beyond. Thank you for watching.
شهیدا و زخمی مکمل خانه انتقال داده شد.
دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دادا شهیدانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دادا شهیدانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور دادا باتورانو کور